Chris Ullman reporting. Last night, State Parliament voted to change civil union laws introduced under the previous Labor government. They'll now be called registered relationships, and the state will no longer sanction ceremonies. But during a fast-tracked and fiery debate on the amendments last night, the Attorney-General dropped another bombshell. The LNP also plans to stop same-sex couples from using a surrogate mother to have children.
The Australian society is based on heteronormative perspectives of the family unit. However, homosexual couples having children is becoming too normative. According to Wild in 2007, a survey in 2001 of same-sex couples in Victoria found that 41% of couples were hoping to have children. The main restriction of this happening is caused by the current legislation. The laws in some states, such as Queensland under the Surrogacy Act 2010, prohibits the right of homosexual couples to access altruistic surrogacy services, including the commercial surrogacy being illegal in all states and territories. The National Health and Medical Research Council guidelines state that donor insemination or any other fertility services is only allowed to those who are accepted in family relationships, further suggesting that homosexual couples are negatively stereotypes when accessing these services based on their union.
The Newman government used its overwhelming majority to rush the changes through. The Attorney-General further infuriated protesters by revealing the government will dump laws allowing same-sex couples and de factos who've been together less than 2 years to use a surrogate to have a child.
This study proposed to highlight the inequalities between homosexual and heterosexual couples' access to altruistic surrogacy in some states, including the need for individuals to seek out commercial surrogacy. By examining these present inequalities, government institutions are more knowledgeable in developing approaches and amending legislation to overcome the limitations experienced by homosexuals in comparison to heterosexuals.
The new research plan aims to conduct a case study into the procedures undertaken by heterosexual and homosexual couples living in metropolitan areas in each state and territory in Australia. It will involve both qualitative and quantitative research methods with focus on statistical evidence and attitude towards surrogacy in Australia. A focus group of 40 homosexual couples and heterosexual couples aged between 25 and 50 will be interviewed. This will highlight the different attitudes and experiences of these couples and the form of surrogacy they use, either altruistic or commercial.
The research plan's expected outcomes are: homosexual couples are discriminated against in some states and territories in Australia due to the current legislation based on commercial and altruistic surrogacy, and there are higher rates of homosexual couples accessing surrogacy facilities across Australia in comparison to heterosexual couples. Homosexual couples are limited in their fertility options, and there is a rise in commercial surrogacy through inter-country facilities, resulting in negative ramifications for the surrogate, the couples and the children involved.